Okay, so welcome to the call. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you on here. We've had a huge week. I've been wanting to go live in our team, but I haven't done it. I've just been a little bit busy, but we've had an amazing, just huge week amongst our team. I've just been literally like in awe all week, as I know that so many of you are too. The fact that we had two, not one, but two girls go diamond on the same day is sort of like unheard of. And so I was like, I knew, they were both close and they were both like pushing for it. And then it was totally God's timing because things just happened and all came into place. And we just made it happen like literally in the last 10 minutes of the night. Okay, 11 p.m. on Wednesday night is the cutoff because it's 11 p.m. Central Time. I don't know what time it is and wherever the cutoff is, I guess midnight. So anyways, 10 till 11, we made a lot of these things happen. And it was a stretch, but we did it and it was so much fun. And I just want to say that we have I think right now, and we have Carleta's signing a coach as we speak. So right now, I think we have 19, maybe 20 coaches in our organization right now, new coaches in our organization. We are if you scroll, if I go to my coaches in my organization, it's everybody from our team, nobody else it's just amazing. So I want you to I want that to fuel your fire. And honestly, the reason that I think one of the reasons that we've jumped and our team is on fire is because fire leads to fire, right? So when something happens and you have a leader on your team hit a goal, or you have a girl on your team and she goes emerald, or she signs her first coach, or she sells a challenge pack and she starts to help somebody, or even when you sold your first challenge pack or you're selling your first challenge pack, it lights your fire, right? You're not doing this to sell, but you're doing it to help others and inspire others. And in order to feel that fire, you need to get somebody involved, right? And we know everybody can do this. Anybody can do this who's willing to step out of their comfort zone, send the messages, get in front of people, share, because you know why you're here, right? You know what this has done to you, for you. So what is it going to do for other people? It's going to completely change their life. And so, I want to talk a little bit about each leader, and then I'm going to kind of turn it over. But I've had leaders reach out to me this week that I look up to, that I've always looked at their businesses and thought, oh my gosh, I would love to have the business that they have. Or, oh my gosh, how are they doing this? I feel like I'm doing all of the things, because you guys are going to hit a wall, and I'm not being negative, but we all hit walls. We hit walls with our fitness, because right, the scale doesn't move, or something happens and we feel like we don't know why things aren't changing and why this part of our body's not doing what we think it's supposed to do, right? Well, the same thing happens in our life and in our business. You're going to hit a little wall, but it's the fact that you don't give up. That's when the magic happens, is when you don't give up and you wait for the dam to break. Like Jessica Servi always says, the dam's got to break at some point if you're willing to persevere through anything. So I've had leaders reach out to me this week that their organizations have been bigger than mine. And it's not about rank. It's not about the amount of people you have on your team, but it's amazing when they reach out and they're like, oh my gosh, you are on fire. What are you guys doing? Or what are you helping your coaches do? Or I've lost this fire and I need it back. I crave the fire that you have right now. And so I really encourage you guys to, if you have that fire lit, that you want to build this business, or you have that fire lit because you did hit a big goal, or you're pushing for a big goal, I want you to hang on to that, because if you lose that, it'll just knock you back down. You've got to find something. And if you're working the business, then you're going to get a yes. You're going to get those people that want to join you. So really that's the bulk of it, is just feeding off of each other's fire in the team. And guess what? When we have a girl go emerald on our team, because we've been making a huge deal about emerald, because it's two coaches, It's a decision that you want to go there. It's literally something that will happen if you want it to happen. And your coach and any of us are here to help you. But we've made such a big deal about it because it is the starting foundation of your business. And so guess what everybody else wants to do when someone hits emerald and when someone hits diamond? And it's not about the rank, but in order to move your business forward, we know that we have to like start our organizations and we have to offer the opportunity to people in order for them to sign up, or they don't know this exists. And I was talking to one of my friends who has been in this business way longer than me. And she's the one that I was talking to today about when she's like, oh, I wish I had your fire back. And she has a bigger organization than we do. And that's okay. But she's just been in the business longer. But she said, I lost my train of thought. What did she say? Gosh dang it. What was I going to say? Anyway, I'll think of it. But anyway, it's just amazing when you have other people that, like I said, just fuel your fire and make you want to be better. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I told her, I said, the hardest thing about coaching for me, and I say this all the time, is that I have trouble, like, it's hard to explain to people what this is like, what this gives you, because she's going through a really hard time in her life right now. And she said, if it weren't for Beachbody, I know that right now I wouldn't be strong enough to deal with what I'm dealing with now, because she's going through a really, really hard time. And she's super strong. Like, she's so strong. And I said, you're so strong. Like, I just hear it in your voice, and I would be like crumbling, I think, by now. And she said, I know why God put Beachbody in my life 7 years ago or whatever. She's been in the business for a long time. And it's because in order to get me through this, I would have never been able to get through this, because like, you can't show the growth. You can't explain the growth to people that you have internally and the growth that we have to offer, because they don't get it. They can't experience it yet because they haven't joined us. Right. So I think that's like one of the hardest things for me to share. I mean, I can share about all these things, but it's so hard until they actually get it. And that's what I was telling Miranda today. We were talking and I said, a lot of times people, you have to get them in our challenge group in order for them to see. They're not going to sign up as a coach at the beginning, and that's okay, because they need to be exposed to some of our groups and they need to see what it is that we're all about. And some people, that's how they're going to get started, and that's how they're going to fall in love. So keep that in mind when you have people that say no to the coaching opportunity, but they want to join your group, and can count it as a win. It's always a win, no matter what they end up going with. Okay, so I want to introduce our two leaders. I'm going to announce Kari Fulk first, simply because she like hit diamond like 2 hours before Carleta. So it's like, I just thought I'll introduce her first. So Kari's a lot like me. She's a Ruby. She's driven. She has that fire that, like, tell me what to do and I'll do it like times 10. And I want to talk to you guys about both of them, simply because their personalities are so much different, and they're both amazing in their own way, and they're both leaders, and they're just amazing women. But this will help you to see, like, when you bring people on, they're not going to be the exact same as you. They're not always going to do the exact same thing as you, and different people are motivated by different things. So I can tell Kari, like, hey, you need to do this and you need to do this. And she's like doing that like 5 minutes ago. And then, Carleta, it was different. Like, I pushed her in a different way. We had to dig deeper into her why, and we had to like look at some things, and it was just amazing to watch them both unfold. And I want to say that I think, so Kari like was pretty close, and then she just made it happen. And then as far as Carleta, I want to just share one thing, because I feel like the turning point for her, we had no idea. Honestly, I had no idea. She had no idea that this was going to happen on Thursday. But something happened. Her sister said, this is what changed it all, I think. And I didn't even tell Carleta this, but her sister says, hey, I have 2 girls that want to sign up. And we're like, okay, because her sister wasn't building the business. And so we're like, oh my gosh, like if she signed up 2 girls and goes emerald, then like we've got this in the bag. Like, do you realize how close you are? And so anyways, I know some of you guys don't know the numbers and the numbers of coaches, and that doesn't matter right now. But so what I was saying is that sometimes it just takes that like push from somebody outside to say like, oh my gosh, like when you, like I said, when you have a coach that's like, hey, I want to do this. And you're like, okay, you know, I had no idea you were going to sign up like 2 people today. So your business can change in a heartbeat. And it's simply because you stuck with it and you poured into your people and you like were determined to be the leader that, you know, you were born to be. So I'm going to announce Kari first. So Kari, I just going to have them both share kind of their like journey to diamond, their journey through coaching, and kind of like the mindset shift that made this all happen, because any of this business is a mindset. Like in order to get anywhere, we know that our mind has to be right. We have to just be determined and willing to do this. And so I want them both, they're both just going to share different aspects of the business, and then we might open it up and ask questions. So go ahead, Kari, and just chat away.
Okay. So I always knew I wanted to go diamond. That was the first thing I told Tabitha. She's like, what's your goal? I'm like, diamond. I don't even know what that is, but diamond. Like, what girl doesn't like diamonds? I wanted to be a diamond. You can hit ruby like no problem. And I did, because my best friend Mary, she's been with me since forever. And then I just signed up my husband. So I sat at Emerald for a very long time. I probably didn't really start working until January. My father-in-law passed, and that was a lot to really deal with. So I took a couple steps back from the business. But after that, I kind of really decided that if I wanted to do this, I was really going to have to do whatever, like Tabitha said, whatever she told me to do. I was doing it. I was jumping out of my comfort zone. I started going to team events, probably coach camp. I don't remember when that was. When coach camp was, but I drove up to outside of Chicago by myself. That is seriously out of anything that I would normally do, but I made it, and it was awesome. It was fun, and it really kind of, the light bulb came on then that, yeah, I could do that. What those girls are talking about, I can definitely do that, because they're stay-at-home moms. They work, and they're moms. I never once have quit my job. I still work full-time, 40 hours a week. I still have my 2 kids and my husband who's a child also. But after that, we had, I was so close to diamond when we had a training event with our upline, Christina. I was so close to diamond on that weekend that I had a plan in place. And then 4 coaches canceled. Just bam, bam, bam. They were gone. And I couldn't do anything about it because they didn't give me any notice. Like, hey, I think I'm going to drop. And it just happens. It's the name of the game. People are going to sign up and they're going to quit. They're going to sign up and they're going to quit. So I was kind of pissed off, to be honest. But there really wasn't anything I could do. So I just had to. I got 2 books at that training. One was Build to Last, and the other one was Rock Your Network Marketing Business. So I crushed both of these that weekend and did exactly what these books said. I shared, I invited. The weekend I hit Diamond, I probably sent over 100 messages that weekend. And it was the weekend that we went to the winery. So Friday, on the way to the winery, I sent everyone I've ever contacted a message about our boot camp. And then when I got back on Sunday, when I got signal, I responded to all those messages. And then that Wednesday, I had replaced 5 coaches and signed somebody up, one of them being underneath my husband. So this is possible. You just have to decide that you want it enough. That's all I got.
No, you're fine. Okay. That's awesome. No, and I love the fact, like, the personal development is huge, and yeah, like both of these books are gold. And you just have to feed your mind, because that Build to Last, we've talked about it so much, it's amazing. Okay, Carleta, you're up, and then we might go back.
Okay. So I'm pouring into this book right now too. So if you don't have it, you need to get it. So I kind of wanted to start and let you know, I signed up in July 25th of 2016. And I hit Emerald. I didn't look up the exact date, but I think it was like the fall of that, like a couple months later. I did it fairly quick because I signed up my mom and my husband. And I've been sitting at Emerald ever since. And I would be up and down all over the place with this. I'd hit Success Club 1 month and I'd be ready to go. And then I would not do anything and drop it. And I'd be like, oh, Tabitha's probably just rolling her eyes at me because I'm just like so up and down with this. And so back on May 4th of like this month, May 4th, Tabitha, we got together and she said, so do you want to do this? I mean, like, really, do you want to do this? Do you want it? Like, I'm sure you can all hear her saying that. Do you want it? And I said yes. I was scared out of my mind. I immediately got sick to my stomach. My drive home after our lunch together, I was like, what the heck did I just commit to doing? Because I still at that point didn't believe in it. Didn't believe in the capability of making it happen. Didn't believe in myself enough, I don't think. And still was questioning of why I was even doing this. Like, she kept asking me, well, she's asked me from the beginning, from the very beginning, what's my why? Why am I doing this? I kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. And turns out probably about a month ago, I had my big why, my vision, and I didn't realize it. I was kind of sitting on it. I was in a leadership mastermind group, and we were doing the 12-week yearbook. And I shared this at Tabitha's house a couple of Saturdays ago. I don't like that book. It wasn't what I needed at the time. I shouldn't say I don't like it. It wasn't what I needed at the time. But there was one part in there that had you break down your vision. And I kind of want to give you these categories because this is what did it for me. Because every time she asked me what my vision was, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I can't say I want to quit my job. I don't have kids to come home to. I don't know what I want. So I don't know why I'm doing it. So if you're a note taker like me, break your goals, not even goals, just break your why, your vision down into these categories. What is your vision for yourself physically? What is your vision spiritually, mentally, relationally, financially, professionally, and personally? And I had like, I don't know, some of them I just have 2 or 3 things under it. Some of them I have 5 or 6 different things under it. But when I broke that down into those categories, that at the time I did it, I still didn't realize what I had sitting here until after meeting with Tabitha. And I was telling her a little bit about it, but I went back and looked at it and I'm like, okay, I know what this is. And so part of it was Lindsay Gray talked at Coach Camp about our vision, not necessarily calling it our why, but our vision. And part of a vision is being able to see it in your mind before it happens. And I just hadn't ever had that. Like, I still was like, I don't know why. I don't have a vision. I don't know what that is. And once I kind of went back and looked at those categories, I've had visions. Like, I can envision myself in situations that relate to these goals that I wrote down in the categories. And I'd never done that before. And so then once I started doing that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I think maybe this is real. Like, okay, I have a reason to be doing this. Like, I'm not just going out and doing it I have no idea why. I know why now. And so you have to figure out that vision. And like I said, I don't know if that'll help you, but it helped me to break it down like that because I'm not a big picture person. I like to have all the details. And so I think breaking it down helped me with the details. So I met with Tabitha, I think it was actually May 5th, but on May 4th, she told me, okay, before we meet, I need you to have a list of 25 people. Well, prior to this, I really hadn't been doing anything with the business. Like, I'd maybe been talking to 1 or 2 people. And so for her to tell me to come up with 25 people, I'm like, I can't do it. I started freaking out. Like, I'm sitting in my recliner the night before, stressing over trying to come up with 25 people. I write down names that I didn't want to write down. I'm like, I'm just writing these down. I'm not going to invite them. There's no way. I just got to come up with 25 people. And so I met with Tabitha the next day. She just does what she does best. She pours into me. She helps me kind of figure out that vision, helps me realize that I kind of did have the vision. I just wasn't, it just wasn't clicking yet. And so then I sent those messages like, okay, great. Now send 5 more. And I'm like, seriously, okay, whatever. But I don't know. It's like, I can't give you the magic formula to what that mindset shift was, other than I know I finally came up with my vision. Like, I can see myself now walking away from my job at some point, but it's not that I want to, it's not that I hate my job, I'm miserable. So that was never like one of my big goals. But now I envision that happening because of the other things I'm wanting to do. Like, it has nothing to do with not wanting to be at my job, but because of the other things. And so I just wanted to, the last thing I want to say is, in this book, if you have the book, it's in chapter 5, and it's talking about your belief. And so far, this has like been a big chapter for me. But it says, it's talking about your sign-up date and your birth date. And so my sign-up date was July 25th, 2016, coming up on 3 years. And at first, I thought my birth date was last week on Thursday when I went diamond. But I really got to think about it tonight, right before the call, trying to figure out really what that is. And to me, I think my birth date was May 4th, when I made that first step, when I wanted to puke, when I wanted to run away and tell Tabitha I changed my mind and forget it, I can't do this. I think that was my birth date. So it started a couple weeks before I even hit the rank. So I don't think the rank for me was the birth date. But so think about your sign-up date and where you want to be for your birth date. So that's all I got.
Yay, I love it so much. And it's so true. Like, you have to, that's why we're always talking about like emotional attachments. And I think I told Jessica Servie, and I think I shared it at the team training. For me, it was like, originally I knew that nothing else, I guess I should say, I knew that this opportunity could freedom that I had wanted. I knew that my job, my 9-to-5 job, wasn't going to do that. Like, it was never going to, and I'm not being negative about it, because if you love a 9-to-5 and you want to be there every day and you love to spend your whole entire day like on the clock, then that's fine. I mean, everybody's vision's different, but I knew that that wasn't what my vision was, and that wasn't what I saw myself like wanting to do. And I think that that's why I went for it, and I was fearless in going for it, even though I was scared so many times. But I knew that nothing else could give me, or nothing else that I knew of could give me what I was looking for, right? And there's always that emotional attachment. And that's why I think we did that exercise at our team training a couple weeks ago, because it's so important to like really dive in and just see, what is it like that just makes your like skin, like what gives you like goosebumps, or what gives you like that feeling of like, oh my gosh, like if that would happen, I would just be whatever, like there's got to be emotional attachment. And that's why we do our workouts, and that's why we do, that's why we complete them, right? Because that feeling when you accomplish something is amazing. No, I'm no longer interested in my 6P to 6A. No, not a bit. Not one bit. Me neither. And I'll just want to say that I had my first day home today. I have to work tomorrow, but I had my first day home today, like, because I'm going to start a new schedule. I'm only working Wednesdays. For those of you who don't know that my boss offered me 1 day a week. So, which is the best of both worlds. I'm super excited because part-time wasn't an option, and now it is. But today was just like amazing. like my first day of just like, wow, like I only have to go to work. Like it's so much more freedom. And it's just that feeling of like, you guys know on Sunday nights, that feeling you get before work, like that, like dreadful, like sick to my stomach. Like I wish I didn't have to do this kind of thing. I get that a lot. Maybe it's just me, but it really like starts to get to me. What was between mentally and financially? Robin wants to know. Carleta, what was between mentally and financially? Relationally, right? Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions? I just wanted them to kind of share parts of their journey, because everybody's journey is different. And that's why you have to quit the comparison game, and comparing yourself, because we don't want to compare ourselves fitness wise. We don't compare ourselves, like, we just don't want to compare ourselves, because we're all unique in doing our own journey, and it's going to happen at different times for each of us, and it's going to happen in different ways, right? Nobody's story is going to be the same. So does anybody have anything though that they want to share or say? Anything? Take a pic before we end. I think Carleta did. Did you, Carleta? Okay, everybody want to smile? It's so dark.
I did, but I needed a better one.
Okay, it's so dark in my car here. Yay.
Got it.
Okay, you guys. So we're starting our team is starting our Back to You boot camp on Monday. So be sure to like be sending tons of invites out to that group. Even if people order on Sunday night, like don't stop because they're not going to get their stuff in time. They're still going to be able to do their workout on Monday with us, right? They're just not going to have their stuff, and that's totally fine. So don't stop inviting. I really think that 21, like when 21 Day Fix came out, like the first 21 Day Fix, it was probably like my highest success club, simply because people, like, it's 21 days. Like they can wrap their brain around the idea of doing 21 days. So be fearless in really presenting that to people and sharing with them the fact that we're all going to be on day 1 together, and we're all going to be on day 21 together. We're going to go through it together, and it's fun when we're all like on the same day. It just is. And then if you can get them to listen about the discount, or hear, the opportunity and stuff, I would present that for sure. Just because it's just, as you know, it's going to hold you more accountable. It's going to just like, they're just going to get more out of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in. Sorry, Kari, go ahead.
Kari is not talking, is she?
Oh, I saw her face. Like, I saw her face right in my face. I was like, oh gosh, sorry. Okay, so what I've been doing is when I go over the financial stuff with them, because that's usually the last thing we talk about, as far as like the nitty gritty, I talk about how much things cost before then, but when we get down to the nitty gritty and they're like, yes, that's great. Let's do it. I really need to try the Shakeology or the performance or whatever it is. I always jump in and say, okay, I was just curious. Would you be interested in, and this is something funny, Kari Fulk actually taught me. I just said, okay, would you be interested in hearing about the option for a discount? Because I know that it's something that's really been helpful for me to just be accountable to myself when I know that I want to continue on this healthy lifestyle. So you kind of like lead into it that way, like you're going to do great and you're going to keep on this train or whatever, but I kind of throw it in there at the end. And if they say yes, then I share about it with them. And I share that, they can make it into a business if they want to, but if the discount's what they're in it for right now, then that's great. So
I can't hear you, Jess. Sorry, you went muted at the very end of that.
Okay. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know where I left off, but I've been throwing it in there at the end and it's been going well. And you guys, even if they say no, this is giving you good practice to talk through it with people and to find out how the best way for you to explain it is. And you're laying that, you're laying the groundwork for them to remember like, oh, she said something about, like, I can't even tell you how many coaches I have right now that have come back to me because they're like, remember when you talked about that discount? I'm ready to do that now. So I do really encourage you to just kind of jump one more step further and just offer it to them, because what's the worst they're going to say? No. You know, they're already interested in the solution that you have for them. So
okay, a couple things really quick. So Kate shared a couple things that I want to just talk about because this is great. This is great to like talk over. So she says, my hardest thing is not having a big success story to share like now and getting people to join me where I am. And I can relate with this as far as I felt like I needed to have this big financial story or this big like, because again, I looked at my friends who were full-time coaches and that's what I wanted, right? I wanted to be home and I felt like, well, people aren't going to join me. They're not going to take me for serious because I haven't hit that goal. Same thing with like our fitness, right? We haven't hit this goal, like this ultimate goal. And that's one of the rejections we get all the time is coaches don't want to work the business because they think they have to have like this success story or a transformation before people are going to join them. And it's so not true because people are going to join you. They're probably going to relate with you more now than they're ever going to relate with you because you are where you are. And guess how many people are where you are right now that are craving like something like this, that they don't have a clue where to turn to. And so I really encourage you to just share. You would be so surprised as to how many things you can share on a daily basis, struggles, little like non-scale victories, or just like stuff you're excited about, or a commitment that you made to yourself. Like Casey, one of our coaches on our team, one of my dear friends, just shared today, like a journey, like she committed to 6 weeks of T20. And it was an amazing post and it was awesome. And she's like, I'm not a fitness person. I've never like worked out. And she shared it. And you know how much love and support she got? Because people genuinely, if they're your people, and if you like want them to be, like if the people that we want to like love us are going to love us, like the people that don't care about it, okay, we don't care about them. Like we're not doing this for them. We're doing it for the people. We're sharing for the people that are going to relate with you and they're going to like need you because you're the person that they need. So don't try not to think about it like that, because you can support people no matter where you are. You don't need to know a thing about anything besides that you have a heart and you want to help people and you genuinely love people and you know how they feel. So you just need to be relatable and know how they feel when you're talking with them. And you simply will like, they'll want to join you. They'll trust you. So try to I understand what you're saying completely, but just as you go and as you gain a little bit of success each month or each week or whatever, you're going to build the confidence in order to be able to share it more. And yeah, what stuff to share? Just same thing, like just, like I said, non-scale victories, success, like struggles that you're having, anything like that. I don't recommend to just like blast your page, of course, with Beachbody, because like it's just going to get old after a while. People don't relate with that anymore. They just won't. It's awesome and we love the products and we love this company, but we aren't Beachbody. Like we're somebody who that's the vehicle that we use to share our story and to help people, but it's not necessarily like that's not who we are. Yeah. And Jen, we've talked briefly about this. She's gotten so many people. She's like the Beachbody On Demand, like annual queen. Like she's getting so many people on Beachbody On Demand, which I think's amazing. Like I count it as a win. I think it's awesome because here's the thing. You're getting people involved. You're exposing them to our groups. Like most likely, if they want to try Shakeology and they love our group, they're probably going to go straight for the discount. Most likely. So you're just getting them in the door and they're like, they're getting, oh, you got another one tonight. Awesome. So honestly, all you can do is share your heart, tell them what it's done for you, tell them why you love the products, why they would want to invest in it with the challenge pack, because they're saving over half off because it's $60 more. That's the only thing I'm always like, oh, it's the best bang for your buck, but it's not required. So just keep going. I promise people will eventually want to do the supplements. And I never quit inviting people. Like if I have if I have customers on BOD, I never quit inviting them to try Shakeology, especially if they're active and they're doing the workouts. Like, I'm continuously inviting them to my refresh group or to my whatever. Like, you just never quit inviting even my team. I invite you guys to stuff that you haven't tried. Does anyone have?
If they're okay, I have a couple of things. If there is any brand new coaches or coaches that have not been on a Getting Started Right call, I encourage you to watch either last month's or the months before, because we do go over like what to share and how to share. Not that you have to do exactly what we do, but it gives you like a good jumping off point to kind of be you. And we go over some of that stuff about how our company is kind of different than other people and how we, share our journey more than we share maybe names of things and pictures and whatever. So those Getting Started Right call, and you can ask your coach to tag you in it and our team page. That's a great way to kind of learn what and how. And Kari is going to do one with our coaches soon. So you guys will have those of you that are Kari's, but like anybody else that needs to watch the one from the past couple of months, I encourage you to do that. And then another thing about the group starts Monday. Katie Whalen is going to run the first couple of weeks. Thank you so much, Katie. You're like, seriously, I was just like messaging her today and she was like, yep, I got this. I'll do it. I'm like, heck yes, sign her up. So Katie's going to do the first couple of weeks. If any of you guys would like to take a couple weeks of this summer challenge group, and we have scripts that you can make your own, but this is really a fun way to connect with your customers and other customers in the group, and just share be you, build them up. And it's just really kind of fun to take ownership. So get with your coach or Tabitha or myself, and we can kind of divvy those weeks up and you guys can take part in it. So that's the only thing I wanted to say, and I promise I'll be quiet now. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you. And yes, we would love, like, we honestly need you guys to like volunteer to do at least 2 weeks of the post. And it's so easy. Like, it really is to set it now that we don't have to we used to have a third party tool, Hootsuite. We used to have to Hootsuite the post and it was such a pain. It was awful. And so now it's so nice because Facebook just lets us schedule the posts. And so, if you're working off of a script, you find like you pretty much have it, unless you want to like adapt and do something different. And you're welcome to kind of like put your heart in different things or recipe or whatever into it. But it gives you something to kind of like be your own and show leadership in the group for your customers. And like I said, since we run our groups together, it's just helpful that we all pitch in and do this together, because it's really hard for the one person or the couple people to be put on to be responsible for the group all the time. It is a lot of work. I mean, it's not, but it gets to be like, it's something else like Jessica's had to do or whatever for the post. So thank you to anybody who wants to volunteer. So Katie's doing the first 2 weeks, and then we'll try to get like a schedule of who's doing the next. So that'll be good. Okay. Anybody else? Thank you guys for getting on. Thank you so much. Yes.
I wanted to say something real quick about invites, because I'm sure we've all been there. I know I have. When you get no after no after no after no, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. I was kind of looking back at my way of tracking is my notebook, pen and paper. That's the way I do it best. I was kind of looking back, and I have, just at glance, I didn't get them all, but at glance, I counted over 20 plus flat out no's, like definite no's. Then I probably have double that amount that were never answered. They never responded to me. So just I know it's hard because I've been there, and I'm sure, I'm still there, but just know that just keep going. Like, just move on. They said no, move on, whatever. If they haven't responded, even if you tried to get back with them and they're still not responding, okay, move on, get someone else, and just keep going. Because if you get stuck on those ones that you're trying to like grab a hold of and they're just not coming, you're more or less wasting your time. I mean, like, you're wasting your precious time that you only have so much time to be sending invites maybe. So just keep that in mind. Like, just move on. Just go. And they may or may not come back to you, but you're going to find your people.
Yes, because it totally sucks your energy when you like let it, if you let it. So, okay, everyone. Thank you for jumping on. I don't know. That's all I got. And I'll post the recording for everybody who wasn't able to get on. All right. Bye. Thanks, Carleta and Kari, for sharing. Love you all. Bye.